Support for this podcast comes from the law firm of Davis Malm. Whether you're a developer, property owner, manager, or commercial tenant, their real estate attorneys know the lay of the land, not just the law. Learn more at davismalm.com.
WBUR Podcasts, Boston.
I'm Daryl C. Murphy, and you're listening to The Common. Sara Winslow, Education Assistant in the current Science Communication Department for the Museum of Science. Thank you so much for coming to The Common.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
All this week, we've been talking about what climate change looks like and feels like in the Boston area right now. It's all in honor of Earth Week, and going into the weekend, we want to give folks an idea of what they can do to learn and give back to our natural world during this very important time of year. You come to us from the Museum of Science, which not only has their own Earth Month event planned, but also has some deep ties in the environmental and science community here in Boston, right?
Yeah, we have a lot of fun things happening this month and also a lot of cool partners that are doing some work this Earth Day as well.
Awesome. So to get us started, I understand you have some opportunities for cleaning up the Mystic River. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of our partners that we work with a lot is the Mystic River Watershed Association, and they have two Earth Day events on this Saturday. So one is the Everett Earth Day event that's in River Green Park. It's hosted with Mystic River Watershed Association in the city of Everett, and they are not only going to be cleaning up debris and cleaning up the docks and trash, but also planting trees and shrubs and putting down mulch and
that's nice.
having a really cool event. And I think that there's also a cookout afterward, too, to have everyone come together for this event.
I love a cookout.
Yeah.
What about our other major river, the Charles?
So we have also partnered with the Charles River Cleanup Boat before. And so what this is you can go on a boat and help clean up the Charles. And so it's a full day. You can sign up to be on this boat from, I think, starting in April all the way through September. And you spend a day using nets or whatever you can to clean up and pick up different trash throughout the Charles. You go all the way up and all the way down. I know in the past, you see a lot of bottle caps, a lot of paper and plastic bags. I know my coworkers have picked up a full bike out of the Charles before. So it's a really great opportunity. It's a volunteer opportunity. You can sign up on their website and pick a day. I think they go out Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays to help clean up the Charles.
You know, what's really cool about these events, getting out there, cleaning up rivers and stuff like that, you see all this trash and stuff, right? And it gives you an understanding of how connected our world is, right? You know, you're drinking a beer in your living room and then you find a beer can in a river and you're like, how did that get there? You know? So that sounds really cool.
Yeah. They're great opportunities. And although those are just one-day events of helping to clean up, you know, you can do things all year round to help better our climate. So there's a ton of different ways to get involved. Another way that we really like to talk about is one of our partners called I See Change. And this is something that you can do anytime, anywhere. It's just an app or a website where you can post about how the climate and weather is changing in your own neighborhood. So you just download the app, you take a picture, or you just write a post about how you're noticing that things are changing in your neighborhood, and it automatically grabs that weather and location data for you. And it just posts to this app, and you're able to create a community around climate change. You're not only to see how your neighbors or people in your town or city are also being affected by the weather or by climate, but it's also worldwide. So you can see how different communities in different countries are also affected by climate change.
Again, it's all about that connection, seeing how we are all connected to each other. Climate change is affecting all of us everywhere, everything, all the time, right?
Yes.
So tell me about this event that's happening in Charlestown at Pier 5. What's going on there?
Yeah, so this is a tabling event, an Earth Day celebration. It's in Charlestown Navy Yard on Pier 5. It's on Saturday, the 22nd, and it's hosted by the Pier 5 organization, Earth Day organization, and a ton of cool community groups and organizations are tabling there, including us. So they're going to be doing their Feeling the Heat activity, which is all about extreme heat and urban heat islands, and also a land erosion activity. And there's tons of other organizations that are going to be there, including partners that we've worked with in the past, such as the National Oceanographic Atmospheric Administration, or NOAA, and the Boston Water and Sewer Commission. So it's going to be a really fun event out on Pier 5.
Awesome. And on your way there, or when you're done, listen to the climate series from The Comet.
Yeah, exactly.
We're hitting on some of those topics. We're going to take a quick break, but we'll be right back with more from the Museum of Science.
Did you kill Marlene Johnson?
I think you're one of the first people to have actually asked.
From WBUR and ZSP Media, this is Beyond All Repair, a new podcast about an unsolved murder that will leave you questioning everything.
Somebody should be in jail for murdering my sister.
A woman who's never been believed.
As long as they think I have done this, then they're not looking for who actually did this.
And that's what makes it a cold case.
No, it's a botched case.
And a search for the truth, once and for all.
Wow, it just gets more interesting.
Beyond All Repair. Listen and follow wherever you get your podcasts.
Be careful. You're digging in a place that's been very peaceful for a while.
Do it anyway. Dig.
And we're back. Okay, let's get back to you folks at the Museum of Science, because you have a related event coming up next week, right?
Yeah, we're hosting this event. This is actually the second year in a row that we've hosted this. It is called Rise Up Boston. It is a climate change themed weekend. And so what this event is all about is gathering all the amazing organizations that we have here in Boston, whether they be industry, academia, nonprofits, government. All of these amazing organizations are working on solutions to climate change and know how to talk about these climate change issues to their local community. So the Museum of Science is known as, a trusted institution, and we really want to make sure that we're bringing in all these amazing groups who are talking and working about these issues and giving them a platform and a voice to talk about it. So this event is 2 days. It's April 29th and April 30th. It is included with Museum Exhibit Hall admission. And what it is it's essentially a tabling event with hands-on activities, organizations, but there's also some amazing speakers coming in as well. We are so excited. I think we have close to 30 organizations joining us for the weekend. A lot of our partners, plus some new organizations we haven't worked with before. We have Boston University coming, City of Cambridge, Communities Responding to Extreme Weather, or CREW, Mass Audubon, Mothers Out Front, and of course, Mystic River Watershed Association. And then one of our talks is going to be Boston's Green New Deal director, Oliver Sellers Garcia. That will be at 2:30 on Saturday. So we're really excited to have all these organizations there talking about what they're doing about climate change.
Nice. Shout out to CREW. We just did an episode with them. That's what's up. Sara, I want to step back and ask you, the greatest contributions to climate change, right? They don't come from us at the individual level. A lot of that falls on our governments and corporations, right? There's a lot that they need to be doing to reverse some of this stuff. But we can only control ourselves, right? Like, we're responsible for ourselves individually. So what are a few things we can all do to support the environment all year round?
Yeah, I really like how you phrase that because I think that it gets really overwhelming, right? And we're told to do all of these things and we need to change our ways and do everything differently. But in reality, we aren't necessarily the biggest problem. But there are, like you said, ways that we can do day to day that I think are easy changes. And so I like to say, start with one thing a week, not necessarily even one thing a day, but how can you change your lifestyle just a little bit to put your carbon footprint down? So one way, of course, is going to be, using public transportation or carpooling or biking, or even going out for a walk and shutting down all of the electronics and everything using energy in your house for the day and just go for a walk and just decompress and be outside and be with nature for a little bit. But there are other, simple things that you can do day to day. You can eat less red meat. Meatless Monday, I know, is something that a lot of people like to do to just reduce your consumption just a little bit. We've always heard of, reduce, reuse, recycle, and we never really know what that means. But I like to say, do that in that exact order. How can you reduce something that you're buying? And then can you reuse that? And then your last step would be recycling. And so just doing really small steps every single day. Another big one is reduce how many clothes you buy and instead reuse by going to thrift stores or consignment shops and shopping secondhand. How can we make sure that we're reusing a lot of the things that are already out in our environment and making sure we're giving them a second life versus having to create something new, which is affecting our environment?
Sara, thank you so much for coming to The Common and talking with us. This has been a pleasure.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
That's Education Associate in the Current Science Communication Department for the Museum of Science, Sara Winslow. And that concludes our series on climate change. Thank you so much for listening to The Common and going on this journey with us. We really appreciate it. If you have any thoughts, hit us up on Instagram at WBUR The Common. You can also send us an email at thecommon@wbur.org. And now it is that time for me to let you know that The Common is produced by Caitlin Harrop and Franny Monahan. It's mixed by Emily Jankowski, Matt Reed, and Paul Vaitkus, and it's edited by Ben Brock Johnson. And from the newsroom of WBUR, I'm your host, Daryl C. Murphy. I'll talk to you soon.